Ready?
I'm ready.
Jazz.
Jazz.
Keep that.
Is that good enough for you?
Connie, where are we?
We are here at Manchester Jazz Fest.
I'm going to have to turn down the decibels.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Connie, where are we?
We are at Manchester Jazz Festival. We are experiencing the first day of a 10-day long...
10 days of programming.
Yeah, 10-day long festival. The sun's shining, happy faces across the board. Hopefully it keeps going as is.
Yeah, it was exactly the same last year. Sun always comes out for Jazz Fest, and it's absolutely packed. They just had the first act on here at the main stage, and everywhere's full already. It's
We've
amazing.
already had tears too. You can tell that there's a lot of passion on the stages already.
That's right.
It's
We just saw
gorgeous.
Marley Hayes, such an authentic, emotional person.
A
Amazing.
couple of D&B inspired tunes
Yeah,
as well
apparently
she was
so.
introducing, so big thumbs up from us.
We heard the incredible quote, "Is it drum and bass, mum?"
You got to ask your mum because she knows.
I've never heard that combination of words before. It was fantastic.
Do you want to give us the itinerary for the rest of the weekend?
Indeed. So later on this main stage, we've got Olivia Cotell. I'm very excited for her. She's going to be fantastic. We're interviewing trumpet player,
Yes.
but with a full band behind her, and I believe she writes the songs as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
Hopefully,
yeah.
we'll get a chance to chat to her and ask her in the flesh.
We will be talking to John Ellis
Yes,
later
indeed.
today, so that'll be exciting.
He was part of a fantastic project that they filmed at the Town Hall, which was a massive band, including instruments like sitars, like 10 musicians, I think it was, all at once, with like an audio-visual setup behind him. Really interesting project. Can't wait to ask about that.
Well, he's got his own studio in Manchester, so I'm really excited to learn more about him and maybe some other genres that he might dip his finger into as well.
Yeah, for sure. And later on tonight, Yoshizawa, probably my number one most anticipated act
Yeah,
of
you're
this
really
opening
excited,
weekend.
aren't
I
you?
am,
Yeah.
The only way to describe him, I think, in normal nomenclature would be alt jazz. Yeah.
Well, we will confirm later on. We're also doing some filming for our documentary,
Yes,
aren't
indeed. The ever-evolving project. I swear we were filming last year for the documentary at Jazz Fest.
we? Well, I mean, it's been going long enough, hasn't it? Keep your eyes peeled. It will be out. It will be out.
So we'll be
Working
covering
on it.
as much as we can from this opening weekend of Jazz Fest. And as always, we'll see you at the front.
At the front.
I'm here to call you one last time. 'Cause the thing is, I thought I rinsed it dry, but you got one last time.
So to me, jazz is kind of the original punk music.
That's a really good way of looking at it, actually.
Because like, if you were around in the 1920s, it would be outlandish.
You mean Prohibition era America?
Well,
Is
yeah,
that what
anywhere,
you
but
mean?
it definitely originated in America for sure. I think
Yeah.
1910s, 1920s is when jazz became jazz rather than like a nameless thing that people were experimenting with.
But lots of influences from already established genres like blues. You know, it's from Louisiana, New Orleans.
Yeah, for
isn't
sure.
It?
And it is a very like cosmopolitan kind of genre, I think.
Do you think, even though you've just said punk?
Yeah, because punk came from like the downtrodden in the cities, you know what I mean? And we'll hold that thought for now.
Good.
Let's go, son.
Lego. Are you already filming?
I am.
And we're just gonna chop it up as we go.
Yeah, come over here
Yeah?
first. Hold on.
You're going to do what you're told like that? Come over here. Have you just heard how he's spoken to you there?
This ain't getting used.
Mum, I've made it.
Is this a...
That was the opening. We're now talking. Now you've ruined it.
I made it better.
Impressions. Your first Jazz Fest.
My first ever Jazz Fest, and my first impression is how family friendly is it? And to be honest, I don't really like children, but all of the children have been really nice and pleasant,
Some
and
great
everyone's
dogs,
happy,
though.
so I'm happy. Such gorgeous dogs as well. Bring the whole
Right.
again, more the merrier, isn't it?
Let's have a walk around and we'll have a gander at the amenities.
So if you're not here, we'll show you what you're missing out on. Come this way. So, in your introduction to Manchester Jazz Festival, we'd like to show you what's on offer because it's not just music. We've got food vendors, we've got things to do for the whole family. Let's go check it out.
As long as things to do for the whole family is eating.
No, they've got little,
To be fair,
they had like
did.
a children's little
They
play
did,
tent
yeah,
thing
yeah.
over
And
there.
the opener for today was actually yoga.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There was yoga and there was, I can't remember what it was called now, but it was like a toddler music themed event of some kind. Journalism.
Music for the children.
Music for the children. We're still yet to get a proper... And if you're into jazz, you know what I'm talking about.
So if I jump out from this and go food, and then it cuts to really nice food, that
One
totally
moment.
makes sense.
She loves jumping out. I don't know what it is, she just loves jumping out.
Right.
This is all going in.
Oh yeah. You ready?
I'm ready.
Food.
Do that again, I'll put it down.
Do that about 3 more times.
Food.
The ominous foot poking out as a precursor was excellent.
Well, I'd fall
That
over
couldn't be
otherwise.
any better. What's your rate? You're pretty good at this.
My rate.
Yeah.
Smiles. So, we've got pizza, we've got Chinese food, we've got Indian food, we've got tacos, we've got burgers. There's something for everyone.
Acid Rain's branching out into food blogging. Clothes. Let's close.
Yeah, look at all of this really nice denim. Denim. No, what's that yogurt called?
It's turning into an ASMR.
Denim.
I know what you're going
Yeah.
for. Yeah. You nailed it.
Denim.
ASMR with Connie. What does denim sound like?
Sorry, I'm just going to do something really stupid. Hope that's okay.
She's gonna pop out. She's gonna
We're
pop
just
out.
filming a little video. Sorry, thank you.
s'entremêlent en passage et s'émèchent dans un mélange d'encens et de pétrole. Je me noie dans mes larmes pendant qu'ils enflamment mon sol.
You know, he just whispered, sweeten the things, mate. That's what he just. Clap for me. Clap.
Thank you. Okay, we started the set with a disclaimer because it's important to contextualize where we are living
Next
in
track.
these challenging times.
Player on the left.
But there's also
Oh, thank
a
you.
lot to celebrate.
Say that again.
A lot to celebrate
Whoa.
around us.
Hands.
Spring, summer, season,
Right,
life,
yeah,
the
yeah.
abundance of life in all its form, in all its shapes, all its complexion. This next tune is called Plenitude,
And then
and it talks about this
Okay.
abundance and contemplating that,
Swap sides.
celebrating it, protecting it, fostering it.
6-string bass.
Pretty impressive.
Probably find out who they are.
Hopefully they actually sing.
Really get around the keys. Go to that, everybody.
Give us a spin.
Cameraman just said, that's about as much dancing as you'll get from me, but you wouldn't know because of the incredible gyroscope. No
We've got
movement.
a proper professional setup today.
I would skip, but I rolled my ankle at Taliabla from Sound to the Other City, so I'm actually incredibly jealous because I do love a good skip.
I'll tell you what is very fitting.
Go on.
That the venue that is the base of Manchester Jazz Fest is called Home.
Here we go.
And I think
Here
that
we go.
there's something really poetic and beautiful about that. And I don't know whether it was intentional.
She's not even getting paid to say this.
No, this is
From the
actual
heart,
thoughts
from the
and
heart, from
feelings.
the
It's
heart.
called authenticity. You should try it. Honestly, it really is a very, very wholesome event that's taking place here. I know we've said it a couple of times already, but everybody is very, very happy to be here. There's, again, a lot of families, all bonding, all sharing nice memories today. It's really gorgeous.
This festival's older than me and I never knew it was on
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
until my first one last year, and it is such a lovely community-driven festival.
It's somewhere that you could come and park up basically all day, get a couple of bevs in. A lot of people have nipped to the shop and got themselves some cornettos. There's nothing more British than that, actually. A pint and a cornetto in the sun. Boom.
I always said the British are like reverse werewolves. As soon as the sun comes out, it's like,
And every table's got a can of sun cream on it and all.
hey.
You need it. Protects your head.
Hi Acid Rainers, we're here with Olivia Coteau, who has just blasted out one of the best Jazz Fest sets I've seen ever. So,
On the trumpet, no less. Yeah.
when we do research for like musicians at Jazz Fest or anything that we're going to see, I always look up all the music, and then the day of, in the morning, I listen to my favourites. And the whole damn plan was the soundtrack to my train ride here. So
you so
I
much.
really enjoy your music so much.
Thank you so much, so kind.
And you're from London,
Yes, I am.
gotcha, but studied in Leeds.
Yeah, so I studied in Leeds from 2020 to 2023, stayed there for another year, and actually I'm back in London now.
Gotcha. Bit of a trek then.
Yeah, but it's worth it. I'm here all the time, to be honest, always up north.
Love that.
Yeah.
What's the difference in the jazz scene between Manchester and down south, would you say?
To be honest, I don't know Manchester so well as Leeds. I think Leeds is incredible and there's constantly stuff going on. It's busy and people are imaginative and people are supportive. It's just smaller, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a smaller city. There's less going on in comparison. But for what the size of Leeds, I think the amount of stuff coming out of it is amazing.
Really impressive,
Yeah,
actually.
amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition, even with the amount of people. Would you say wanting
Well,
to get into music? And
I think everyone is so original and there's so many different like styles and people have got so many ideas that there's not even that much overlapping of that person's doing that so I can't, because everyone's got their own thing, which is so
enough
beautiful.
variety.
Yeah, people are just like, it's just such a great city and like the players are just so vast.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about how long you've been playing the trumpet for?
Yeah.
And how you got into it originally?
Yeah, so I started when I was 8, which means I've been playing for 14 years now.
Impressive.
And my dad's a drummer, so I started actually on like drum lessons when I was probably like 4 or something. Here and there, it wasn't. It was just kind of random. And that was the first instrument that I got into. And then I would pick up a little bit of piano here. We had like a keyboard because my dad's dad was a pianist. And then there was, my dad got me like a plastic trombone, so I used to play on that for a little while. But when I got to year 4, when I was 8, they started some lessons on trumpet or clarinet. So I chose trumpet. And
Good
it was,
choice.
yeah, it was just 3 lessons all the way to year 11, so I just stuck with it. And to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the trumpet for that whole entire time. I never clicked with it. It was just, I had lessons, I wouldn't do anything in between the lessons. I would just go to the lesson and play. And
Would
then
there be something else that you would have rather done at that time?
I kind of thought sax was cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Sax
Lisa
is cool.
Simpson, yeah, she made it cool.
I thought it was cool,
Yeah.
but I don't know, I had no discipline. And then I decided to stay on with music. I knew I loved music more than anything, whether I like trumpet or not, whatever, at least I could play it. Not very well, but I could. And then I got to sixth form college, and they were like, why don't you try and do some jazz? And literally, in the snap of a finger, I was like, oh my God, I'm so lucky I play the trumpet. I'm going to commit my life to jazz. It was like that. I just called my dad, never even said the word jazz before, didn't even know anything. And I was like, I'm doing jazz for the rest of my life. I'm going to go study jazz, and I want to do this. And it was just like
So
that.
you weren't listening to jazz when you were young then?
Well, there was jazz in the house because my dad's dad was a jazz pianist, and my dad, he plays a lot of fusion, which has lots of like jazz, and he loves jazz. So there was jazz on, but in terms of what I was putting on, if we were in the car and I'd say, but it was never jazz. It was Stevie Wonder, Johnny Hathaway, Shaka Khan. But to be honest, these guys all play jazz, whether it's not
they've all got their
traditional-
finger in that pie.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's why I just was so drawn to it, because I realised that I've been listening to it my whole life and didn't even know.
What's the writing process like in the band?
So I write everything and the lyrics and everything, and it's always different. Sometimes I'll just start with almost like a poem, just the lyrics, and then I'll add the melody to it. And sometimes, to be honest, it's either that or I write them together. There's not really ever a time that I write the melody and then the lyrics. That's more when I do vocalises. I have a melody that someone else has written, and I write lyrics to that. But usually the lyrics are the most important thing to me, and they will sing the melody.
And they'll
the
tell you the
lyrics.
flavour and the texture.
Exactly, yeah.
And were you songwriting whilst you were learning these instruments, or was that a little bit later for you?
Yeah, that was much later. I started first writing music in like lockdown, and that was all instrumental, and it was just like here and there. First year I did it a little bit, second year I did it a little bit, but I think by the time I got to my third year of uni, I started doing lyrics for the first time. I might have dabbled in it a little bit in second year, but like really slowly, and then all of a sudden I started to pick up pace, and I knew I loved songs. Like I just love writing songs and stories, and so people can relate to it, because often with jazz people are like, I don't get it, and it's like, first you don't need to get it, just listen, and you know, if you like it you like it, if you don't you don't. But with songs they can understand it, and then like you kind of like reel them in with that. And I just love songs myself. I rarely listen to instrumental music. Well, I do, but not as much compared to vocalists. I just love songs.
So would you say that most of your inspiration for your songwriting comes from internal sources rather than external sources?
I don't know, it's a bit of both, because part of it is like I have so many thoughts and feelings and stories that I want to share, but then part of it is like I love Aretha Franklin and I love Nina Simone, and I want to copy that almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's both.
Yeah.
In terms of making jazz accessible, because you're right, it does seem like some kind of formless beast that it's hard to introduce the average person to. Who would you recommend today?
I think those names that I just said, Aretha Franklin, just like it would just get you in the soul, you know, it would just, there's no doubt about it, any person will listen to her and you'll just be hooked. That's genuinely how I feel. I don't think anyone can listen to that and not love it. I think that's really a good place to start, to be honest.
That's a good entry point.
Yeah, I think
that
I'll
anybody
stick with
wants to
that.
get into
And
it.
is there anything grassroots happening at the moment that you think people are sleeping on?
People like
musicians.
Musicians. To be honest, I think that comes to mind. No, everyone that I know, that's great. I think they're getting success as they should, and everyone. I just think all my friends and people that I'm working with, that everyone's. It's just nice to see everyone else is flourishing as well.
Yeah.
Everyone is so creative and constantly out and pushing, and I think we're all doing exactly what we should be doing, and we're all getting it back.
So would you say in the jazz community there is a lot of support among musicians and there's a community feel there?
Yeah, definitely. Like basically all of my friends are musicians I've met for music. I really don't. I have about one friend that isn't a musician. It's just like it's so hard not to be friends with musicians.
But there's so much to relate to within
Exactly,
each other,
yeah,
isn't there?
I was going to say we get that a lot. If I was going to go and see jazz in Leeds or London, where would I go?
It's a good question. I think in Leeds, Brood Now is amazing. Hyde Park Book Club, every single Thursday there's a jam
I love
there.
Hyde Park Book Club.
And
Really gorgeous
whenever
venue.
I can go to that, like now that I'm in London, if I'm ever around, I'll go there. It's just like it's such a lovely, warm, welcoming
And it's very
vibe.
intimate as
yeah,
well.
Really, really great. So those are two big ones in Leeds. In London, we all know them. Ronnie Scott's, the Vortex Pizza Express. They're all, you know.
They're not slept on.
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah.
I mean, I got no idea. Did you say Pizza Express?
Yeah,
Is that a jazz bar?
yeah, it's a really big one.
I need to go.
Yeah, check out the Instagram after this.
Is there not like some kind of legal battle there?
No, 'cause sometimes I go like I'm playing at Pizza Express and people are like, no, this is
No, you
good.
should let them think that it's
Yeah.
just Pizza Express. That's way better.
Yeah.
It's like, you ever see the metal band at Denny's? The viral video.
No, I don't know that.
Basically, you know Denny's the diner, the chain diner in
Right,
America.
okay.
It like pans and there's just like 6 guys, a full metal band, and they go, "What the fuck is up, Denny's?" And they just launch you into it. I'm getting that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I get that.
with
What, a bit
jazz.
feral?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Feral at Pizza Express playing jazz.
We'll see you there.
It's been absolutely amazing to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
What's next for you?
So next we've just finished recording an album which is due to come out at the end of August. It's called And Writing and Singing and Tunes to Be Swinging. I'm very, very excited. So we've got a tour kind of starting at the end of July going on to September, maybe October. We're leaving the country for the first, well we've been to
Very
Wales, we're back to
exciting.
Wales and we're also going other places, which is really, really exciting. So please keep your eye out for that.
Are you coming back to
Yeah.
Manchester?
It's not in the books yet, but I'm working on it.
You let us
Can we
know.
make
We'll
it
be
work,
there.
please?
Yeah,
We'll
Make it work.
see you here again.
And also, does the album have to come out in August, or can it be pushed up a little?
Well, there will be some singles coming out before, so
Excellent.
yeah.
Let us know.
yeah.
Can we also give a little shout out to the rest of the members of the band that
Yes.
performed with you
Yes,
this afternoon,
absolutely.
because they were
Phenomenal.
really wonderful.
Amazing. So we've got Izzy Chivers on vocals,
Gorgeous name as well, by the way.
Beautiful.
Like, yeah.
Josh Fedavelu on bass, Miles Pillinger on drums, and today we had Nico Widowson on keys. But Nico was actually literally swooped in today.
Wow.
Tom Harris that usually plays on keys.
Legend.
Yeah.
He did a fantastic job.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
You all did. It was wonderful to
Oh,
see.
thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So anything you fantasize, you dream on all the time. Feelings that I'm dreaming of tonight. take the X across the north. Half a glass is empty first.
Hello, it's Alyssa. Everyone had so much fun yesterday that I thought I just had to come down for day 2 of the free opening weekender for Manchester Jazz Festival. It's on First Street, but there's some good stuff on today. We're going to have a look around, get a bit of a taste for every stage here. It's a beautiful day as well. I'm in the shade because if you see Will today, you'll understand. He made that mistake yesterday. He's got a bit of a red head. But it's going to be a really fun day. We've just seen Ellen Beth Abdi. That was really good. And ex-Easter Island heads. Interesting. But very unique sound, and that's one of the best things about a place like this. You can kind of get a bit of a taste of everything. And we might even interview some people later. John Ellis Band and John Ellis. So that'll be really fun. And there are dogs. So... We're almost there.
This is 3 minutes in, by the way.
Oh.
Hey! The lolly.
I feel like I've earned it.
Go on.
So guys, the budget has gone through the roof recently. I've got my own camera. No, it was mine. I paid for it on credit. Anyway, so I am on a side quest to go and get a press pass because those fuckers have press passes and they've been sat there with their nice little orange lanyards shoving it in my face. So I'm gonna go find it. Look, have a look. There's so many food vendors. I'm hungry, but I'll let you know if I find her. I'm looking for a woman called Evie. She's apparently in a shipping container and she knows who I am. Okay, side quest update. I have found the shipping container. It's really cute out here actually. Look at all this outside space. Sorry, I'm so close. Sorry. I almost got run over by a bike. Updates. I am a strong, independent woman and I get what I want. Very exciting. Now I've got to run back because they've got an interview and I need to hold the bench. We're on another side quest. I'm off to go find some food. We have some vegan stuff back there, some ice cream, but I have seen like a burrito. That's what I want. So basically, music journalist, meh, food vlogger. Interesting selection of food. I went with a less white take. No burritos in sight. No pizzas either. I'm gonna swerve that. We're going with Punjabi poutine. That'd be fun. And some sort of mango drink. The music is good though.
Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it.
That was like such a food vlogger thumbnail.
So I went to Manchester Jazz Festival
this
and
is what I ate in
had
a day.
I found a place that used to dive.
Lager.
Yeah,
I believe it's called Damn Good Lager.
nice.
It's all right. Hi, Acid Rainers. I'm here with Mr. John Ellis.
Hi.
Happy to have you. The first thing I wanted to ask you about was in your artist bio for Manchester Jazz Fest, it had a link to an audio-visual kind of performance that was at the Town Hall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I just wanted to know how that came about and what was the philosophy behind it.
It came about, I think, my little boy had just been born, and there was quite a bit of turmoil around that, and I think I was really battling for some art to keep my artistic thing going. Really, I think that's what it was, and I knew that the festival were having this commission, so I put in for it, and it felt like it felt like something that I was really trying to keep my head above water, artistically speaking, and trying to do that I almost overshot and I ended up doing this big thing. And the philosophy, do you know what it was? It was like at the time, I mean, the world has changed a lot. It's changing as we speak, but even then I had the feeling of this world in shift, in transition, and it was called Evolution, Seeds and Streams. It was a collaboration with a filmmaker, but my idea of the evolution was really what I wanted to say to people was, what's your idea of evolution? That we are the species that has some agency, more so than a lot of other species, and to ask each and every person, how do you want this to go?
To have the luxury of choosing the direction.
How do you want this to go? I think that's such an important question, and people don't realise, don't think about that enough, because that's how we should be voting, if you like.
And speaking of evolution, you actually closed out the first Manchester Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
We're of course celebrating the 30th anniversary this year. How has Jazz Fest changed over all these years?
I would say that there's been a changing of the guard, definitely. Especially in those first 10, 15, 20 years, you'd have to ask Steve Mead about that. Probably still he gets it sometimes, but the people are saying, this isn't jazz. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't jazz. It needs to be like this. You need to be playing this kind of stuff. And I've always been battling against that a little bit. I've always seen the jazz thing as a little bit of a disclaimer in a way, because in the sense of it being a flag for free expression, of some description. But having said that, the jazz people, the jazz community has always given me a lot of love, and so I have to appreciate that. I mean, as far as this festival, obviously it's been great to see more female artists. Definitely, that's one thing, because especially in the jazz world, a lot of those people who are like, this isn't jazz, the old guard, it was a very male directed thing. All of those old jazzes, it was built on a very male atmosphere.
A symptom of its society at a time when jazz
became...
became...
if you talk to some of those old big band guys, someone still in Manchester that played in some of those old big bands, it was brutal. It was brutal, it's part of the world, but it was like that was the only way then. Do you know what I mean? And it's
I
not
think
the only way, of course.
You were totally right about what Jazz Fest includes, because jazz by its nature should be experimental and push boundaries like that. So we've seen some really interesting types of music this weekend.
Yeah.
Not just proto jazz.
I mean, for me personally, that's what I feel about jazz as a word. I feel like, especially in this world of interconnectivity, it's so I feel like jazz should be about, I always, if there's a young musicians, you know, saying to them, get your head into the folk musics around the world, because for me, that's one of the true definitions of jazz going forward now, is we're looking for a genuine world music. You know, in all of these folk traditions, improvisation is a big part of them. You know, so when you talk about jazz, you're talking about a level of improvisation. You're trying to get into that flow, you know.
And the call and response.
Yes, all of those things are just part of music. This is a human thing. It's been going on thousands of years. So that's my best definition of jazz. You know, is a real world music. You know, even the old style of jazz where people are saying what they call jazz, you know, it was an attempt at a world music because it was America. It's a big melting pot. But now with the internet and that level of interconnectivity, there's no excuse, you know, for musicians to, you know, that's what really fascinates me, is the folk music, and any music is folk music. It's coming out of the ground, you know, what you feel, what you hear. You know, any music is folk music if its heart is rooted in that human experience, you know.
And speaking of you, how did you start your musical journey? What was it that...
My musical journey started, I always say that, you know, as Manchester Education Committee is something for us to look at in terms of the landscape as it is now. Everything was free, you know, I used to get lessons on the clarinet and the saxophone. You go to Mostyn Music Centre, the lessons were free. The Saturday morning bands where all the kids would go, and it's a great community feeling. The parents would and run the little tuck shop and selling drinks and crisps and stuff.
Did you feel like it was encouraged then?
Yeah, it was a great environment. The older ones would help the younger ones, and it was all free. It was all council run and free, you know. And that's been a heartbreaking thing to see that be gradually decimated, you know, over the years. You know, and there's a lot of individuals and organisations who battle to try and generate those kind of community feelings, but those are the things that should be under a larger umbrella, I feel, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're a wanted man, so we'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
And we're excited for your set later as well.
Thank you. You are the light for me now. You have found me somehow for a reason I don't even understand. Here in another world, I have a flag to unfurl. Come and see you when all of this passes away. And I know that I'm foolish and lazy and